Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. What do the rich do differently from the poor and middle class? In this video, I'm going to share some of the key things that the rich do differently and how you can apply these principles to your own life to achieve financial success. I'll also explain the difference between assets and liabilities and how building wealth and reaching your financial goals depends on getting more assets and fewer liabilities. So, if you're interested in learning more about how to achieve financial success, be sure to watch this video until the end. The rich do a number of things differently from the poor and middle class, including: they invest their money wisely. The rich understand that money can make money, and they invest their money in assets that will generate wealth over time. This could include stocks, real estate, businesses, or other investments. They live below their means. The rich don't spend all their money. They save and invest a significant portion of their income. This allows them to grow their wealth over time and achieve their financial goals. They have a plan for their money. The rich have a clear plan for their money. They know what they want to achieve with their money, and they have a strategy to get there. This could include saving for retirement, buying a house, or starting a business. They network with other successful people. The rich surround themselves with other successful people. They learn from each other and support each other in their endeavors. This can help them to achieve their goals faster and easier. They take risks. The rich are not afraid to take risks. They understand that there is no reward without risk. This could mean investing in a new business, starting their own company, or moving to a new city for a better job opportunity. Of course, not all rich people do all of these things. And there are many poor and middle-class people who do some of these things. But in general, the rich are more likely to do these things than the poor and middle class. Before I continue, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss my weekly videos on wealth creation tips. The poor buy things that are cheap and affordable. The middle class buy things that they think are assets but are actually liabilities. And the wealthy own assets that generate income and allow them to invest and grow their wealth. Before we go any further, let's define two important terms. Asset. Something that generates income or increases in value over time. Liability. Something that costs money to maintain or depreciates in value over time. In other words, assets help you build wealth, while liabilities drain your wealth. Here are some examples of assets and liabilities. Assets. Rental properties. Businesses. Stocks. Bonds. Cash savings. Liabilities. Consumer debt such as credit cards, student loans, and car loans. Mortgages. Car payments. Personal belongings that depreciate in value such as cars, furniture, and electronics. It is important to note that some things can be both assets and liabilities, depending on how they are used. For example, a house can be an asset if you rent it out to others, but it can also be a liability if you live in it yourself and have to pay for mortgage payments. Property taxes and maintenance costs. Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is essential for making sound financial decisions. By focusing on acquiring assets and reducing your liabilities, you can build wealth and achieve your financial goals. Poor people tend to focus on short-term financial goals, such as how to get money quickly and easily. They prefer to make steady, day-to-day expenses rather than large one-time payments. Even though interest can cause them to pay much more than the original price in the long term. Poor people are more likely to buy things on credit because they prefer a payment plan that spreads out the cost over time. Additionally, because poor people often live paycheck to paycheck, they do not have the ability to save an emergency fund, invest, or pay off debt. As a result, if an emergency arises, they may have to take out a loan to cover the costs, which can lead to more debt. Poor people often do not value financial education or invest in self-development because money is a sensitive topic for them. In other words, poor people often face financial challenges because they are focused on the short term and do not have the resources to plan for the long term. They may be more likely to make financial decisions that are not in their best interests, such as buying things on credit or taking out loans with high interest rates. This can make it difficult for them to break the cycle of poverty and build wealth. Middle-class people often have the same financial mindset as poor people, even though they have more income. They spend their money on bills and necessities, and they like to save money for a rainy day. However, they also spend their spare money on liabilities that they think are assets. For example, they may buy designer bags or shoes, which are not an investment. As their income increases, so do their liabilities, because they do not have good financial education. In other words, the middle class often makes the same financial mistakes as the poor, even though they have more money to work with. This can lead to them accumulating debt and having difficulty achieving their financial goals. If you belong to the poor and middle class, it is important to be aware of the financial challenges that you face and to take steps to improve your financial literacy. There are many resources available to help you, such as books, articles, and websites. You can also talk to a financial advisor to get personalized advice. The rich don't waste their money. They are careful with their money. The rich would invest their money and make it grow over time. They think ahead and invest in things that people don't know about yet, so they can buy them at a lower price. The rich never stop learning and staying up to date on the latest trends. They use their knowledge to make investment decisions. By diversifying their investments, they can make their money grow even faster and pay less taxes. The answer isn't to earn more money, because you will just end up paying more taxes. The answer is to invest your money wisely and keep it. Of course, there are other factors that contribute to wealth inequality, such as systemic factors like discrimination and lack of access to education and resources. However, there are people who have come from poverty and become wealthy because they had the right mindset. Wealth is created in the mind, through education and experience. If you think like the rich, you will eventually become rich. So let's change our minds from making bad financial decisions to making great financial decisions that will create wealth in the long term. In other words, the rich are successful because they are careful with their money, they invest wisely, and they keep learning. If we want to be successful, we need to adopt the same mindset. There are many ways to learn from the rich. Here are a few ideas. Read books and articles about the rich. There are many great resources available that can teach you about the habits and mindsets of the rich. Some popular books on this topic include The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. Listen to podcasts and interviews with the rich. There are many podcasts and interviews available where you can learn from the rich about their financial strategies and how they achieved their success. Some popular podcasts on this topic include The Tim Ferriss Show, The Dave Ramsey Show, and The Tony Robbins Show. Attend workshops and seminars on personal finance and investing. There are many workshops and seminars available where you can learn from experts about how to manage your money wisely and invest for the future. Find a mentor who is wealthy and successful. One of the best ways to learn from the rich is to find a mentor who is wealthy and successful. A mentor can provide you with guidance and support as you work to achieve your financial goals. In conclusion, we all have a choice about where we focus our energy. Poor people tend to waste it worrying about the future, while rich people focus on finding solutions to problems. They know that if they can solve a common problem, money will follow. That's why they spend all their time, resources, and creative energy on finding and marketing solutions. Imagine if our ancestors had only worried about gathering nuts and berries and never progressed to making tools to hunt for their food. Creative thinking is what drives progress, and wealth is just a byproduct. If you focus on developing your natural creativity, money will follow. In other words, the rich are not just lucky. They are successful because they focus on solving problems and creating value. If you want to be successful, you need to do the same. Here are some tips for developing your creativity and solving problems. Be curious. Ask questions and explore new ideas. Be open-minded. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Be persistent. Don't give up easily. Be willing to experiment. Try new things and see what works. Be collaborative. Work with others to share ideas and get feedback. If you can develop your creativity and solve problems, you will be well on your way to success. It is also important to remember that wealth is not just about money. It is also about having a fulfilling life and making a positive impact on the world. So, as you work to achieve financial success, be sure to focus on the things that are truly important to you. I hope this video helps you in being one step closer to your financial goals. Please give a thumbs up on the video if you have enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more wealth creation tips. I'd see you in the next video. Bye.